you ever felt your mind go completely blank the moment you need to speak English in real life? Picture this. You're standing at a cozy coffee shop. You've memorized your exact order, but the second the barista smiles and asks a simple question, your brain completely short-circuits. You know the words, you understand the grammar rules, but you freeze. That happens because learning from a dry textbook is worlds apart from speaking English naturally every single day. Welcome to this motivational English podcast episode designed to help you learn English through real, step-by-step daily situations. From morning coffee runs and office small talk to dinner plans and weekend vibes with effective English spoken practice. By following along with this easy English podcast, you'll discover how effortless daily English conversation can actually be when you focus on real, practical phrases. Stick around until the very end because every topic we cover will give you instant confidence and boost your English speaking skills for your next real-world interaction. Good morning, Emily. It is so great to hang out with you today on our English podcast. Are you ready to dive into some practical, everyday English conversation lessons?
Good morning, David. I am so hyped for this. Speaking naturally in daily life is something so many learners struggle with when doing spoken English learning, and I really want to help everyone feel confident with this slow English practice.
Exactly. Most people spend years studying rules, but the moment they step into a real cafe or try talking to a coworker, they suddenly panic. So let's start at the very beginning of the day to practice natural English phrases. Emily, what is the first thing you say when you wake up and see someone at home?
Well, if I see my family or housemates, I always give a warm smile and use simple English greetings like, "Good morning." It's super simple, puts everyone in a good mood, and provides great English for beginners.
That is so true. But what if you're barely awake and need 3 shots of espresso before you can function?
Oh, in that case, I usually just shorten it and hit them with a relaxed, quiet morning. It sounds like one of those casual, common English expressions used among people you live with.
Yes. Morning is perfect for close friends or family. But what if you walk into the office and bump into your manager or boss? Do you say the same thing?
Definitely not. When talking to a supervisor or someone higher up, it is always better to use polite business English conversation phrases like, "Good morning, Mr. Davis," or "Good morning, Miss Taylor." It sounds polite, respectful, and professional.
Small adjustments like that make a massive difference in how people perceive your confidence. Now, after greetings, what is usually the next thing on your mind?
Coffee, 100%. I cannot function without my morning brew. How do you usually ask someone about breakfast or coffee at home using daily routine English vocabulary?
I usually ask my family, "What are we having for breakfast today?" Or I will just ask, "Did you make coffee yet?" "Did you make coffee yet?" is literally a phrase I hear every single morning. And if there's no coffee at home, it's an emergency. I have to run out and get one. That brings us to our next daily situation, ordering at a coffee shop with practical English vocabulary. Coffee shops are fantastic places to improve English listening and practice speaking in real life. When you walk up to the counter, how do you usually place your order?
I always like to keep it polite, friendly, and smooth. I say, "Hello, could I please have a medium latte?" Using "could I please have" is one of the best useful English phrases for ordering food or drinks anywhere.
It really is. It sounds very courteous. What if you're running late for work and just need a quick, informal fix?
If I'm rushing, I might say, "Hi, black coffee to go, please." Notice how short that is, but adding "please" keeps it totally polite and helpful for English speaking practice for beginners.
To go is such an essential phrase for learners. Can you explain what to go means compared to stay?
Of course. To go means you want to take your drink outside the shop to sip on your walk or at your desk. To stay, or for here, means you want to sit at a table inside the cafe. It is a great example of real English vocabulary.
Perfect distinction. Now, what happens when it's time to pay? The barista usually asks a super quick question.
Yes, they almost always ask, will that be cash or card?
And you can simply reply, card please, or cash please. Short, sweet, and stress-free.
But, David, what if you tap your card and the machine declines or glitches out? That social anxiety is so real when trying to speak English fluently.
Don't panic at all. We've all been there. If the card machine glitches, you can easily ask, can I try tapping again? Or you can ask, do you accept cash? Having those two backup questions in your back pocket will save you from sweating and improve your English conversation practice.
That is such a lifesaver tip. Now, let's move on to the next part of the day. Commuting to work or school on public transport using everyday English speaking practice.
Commuting is another place where small, spontaneous interactions happen all the time. I usually take the bus, and sometimes the schedule is delayed. How do you politely ask a stranger at a bus stop about the time during your English speaking practice?
You should always start with a polite excuse me. You can say, excuse me, do you know what time the next bus arrives?
Excuse me is truly the magic key in public life. It immediately gets someone's attention without being invasive and helps you speak English naturally.
Exactly. And if the bus is taking forever, people standing around will often start making small talk in English. They might turn to you and say, the traffic is terrible today, isn't it?
Oh, traffic. Nobody enjoys being stuck in gridlock. If you realize you're going to be late for an important morning meeting because of a traffic jam, what do you say when you call your colleague?
I call them immediately and say, hi, I am so sorry, but I am stuck in traffic. I will be about 15 minutes late.
Coffee shops are fantastic places to improve English listening and practice speaking in real life. When you walk up to the counter, how do you usually place your order?
I always like to keep it polite, friendly, and smooth. I say, hello, could I please have a medium latte? Using could I please have is one of the best useful English phrases for ordering food or drinks anywhere.
It really is. It sounds very courteous. What if you're running late for work and just need a quick, informal fix?
If I'm rushing, I might say, hi, black coffee to go, please. Notice how short that is, but adding please keeps it totally polite and helpful for English speaking practice for beginners.
To go is such an essential phrase for learners. Can you explain what to go means compared to stay?
Of course. To go means you want to take your drink outside the shop to sip on your walk or at your desk. To stay, or for here, means you want to sit at a table inside the cafe. It is a great example of real English vocabulary.
Perfect distinction. Now, what happens when it's time to pay? The barista usually asks a super quick question.
Yes, they almost always ask, will that be cash or card?
And you can simply reply, card please, or cash please. Short, sweet, and stress-free.
But, David, what if you tap your card and the machine declines or glitches out? That social anxiety is so real when trying to speak English fluently.
Yes, absolutely. With close coworkers, you can say, to be honest, I am a bit tired today. Using to be honest shows sincerity and creates a warm human connection during English listening and speaking. That leads us right into lunchtime, my absolute favorite time of the workday. How do you invite a colleague to grab a bite with you?
You can ask, where should we go for lunch today? Or if you already have a specific place in mind, you can suggest, how about we grab a sandwich down the street?
How about is a magnificent phrase structure for fluent English speaking. You can use how about for almost any casual suggestion. For instance, how about we take a short break? Or how about we review this project later?
It is gentle and friendly because it proposes an idea without coming across as bossy. Now, what if you need help with a tricky work task after lunch? How do you ask a teammate without interrupting their workflow when doing English dialogue practice?
A super polite way to ask is, could you help me with this report when you have a minute? Adding when you have a minute shows that you respect their time and workload.
That is so considerate.
And if your coworker is swamped at that moment, they might reply, I am a bit tied up right now, but I can help you after 3 o'clock.
Tied up is a fantastic casual idiom that simply means super busy. Learners love discovering English idioms and phrases like that.
Now, let's fast forward to the end of the working day. Everyone is packing up their laptops and getting ready to head home. How do you say goodbye in informal English conversation?
To the whole room, I usually say, have a good evening, everyone. But to a close work friend, I might say, see you tomorrow, or catch you later.
Catch you later is such a classic casual expression. It just means goodbye, see you soon. It adds so much personality to your English spoken practice repertoire.
Once you arrive home, dinner is usually the main topic of conversation. Emily, how do you discuss dinner plans using conversational English phrases?
I usually ask, do you want to cook tonight or should we order takeout?
And let me guess, you vote for takeout every single time.
You know me so well, David. Ordering takeout after a crazy day of work is always a winning move. But if we do cook at home, I might check the fridge and say, we have some vegetables and chicken, so we can make a quick stir fry.
We can make is direct, practical, and clear. After dinner, it is time to unwind and chill out. How do you talk about your evening hobbies to practice spoken English?
I love binge watching good TV series. I often tell my friends I am watching a really interesting show at the moment.
At the moment is a wonderful alternative to right now. It makes your spoken English sound much more polished and natural when practicing English fluency skills. What if you prefer curling up with a good book like I do?
You could say, I am reading a fascinating book about history at the moment. It is very inspiring.
Using simple present and present continuous tenses keep your explanations easy to understand without overwhelming the listener with complex structures. It makes learning English speaking feel so approachable.
Now, as the end of the week approaches, say on a Thursday or Friday afternoon, everyone starts buzzing about the upcoming weekend. What is the number one question people ask during weekend conversation in English?
Without a doubt, it is, do you have any plans for the weekend?
And if you have exciting plans already lined up, how do you respond?
You can say, yes, I am going to visit my family on Saturday. We use going to when we talk about future plans that have already been decided, which is essential for English grammar and conversation.
And if you have zero plans and just want to stay in your pajamas, you can say, not much, just relaxing at home. How about you? It turns the conversation back to them seamlessly.
Lastly, we cannot forget the ultimate icebreaker used everywhere, the weather.
Weather talk is the best way to break the ice with anyone when you want to speak English with confidence. On a sunny afternoon, you can say, beautiful weather today, isn't it?
Adding isn't it at the end invites the other person to agree with you and start a friendly conversation. They will usually reply, yes, it is lovely.
And if it's freezing or pouring rain, you can say, it is freezing out there today, or I hope this rain stops soon. Everyone instantly relates to weather comments in everyday English interaction.
We have covered so many everyday situations today, from morning coffee orders to evening relaxation and weekend chit-chat. Practice is truly the secret sauce to mastering spoken English communication. The more you use these simple, everyday sentences out loud, the more natural they will feel in your daily life.
Thank you so much for hanging out and learning with us today. If you found these everyday conversation tips helpful to improve English speaking skills, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and send this video to your favorite study buddy who wants to boost their English conversation practice. Drop a comment down below using one of the new phrases you learned today. We'd love to see what you came up with. Keep following Clarity English Practice for more natural, fun, and easy to understand English lessons. Keep practicing every day. Stay confident and catch you in the very next episode.